My time at Illinois was fun. I mean, it was a great school, great university. You know, they allowed me to get a great education. Football-wise, you know, it was like a family too. You know, they took care of their players. They looked out for their players. We didn't win too many games, but hey, we had a few guys who were determined to, you know, do the best job they can, and you know, always be out there and looking out for each other and had each other back. So we had a great bond. We built memories that I would never lose, and I always remember, you know, from these guys that I played with in college. I didn't get a chance to go to the combine, but I did our pro day at our school, at our university. And I did a good job. I thought I put up great numbers, but you know, I guess it wasn't numbers enough to go get my name called across, you know, the stage. And when my name wasn't called, I knew that I had to go out there and, you know, make a name for myself. I knew I had to go out there and show the world who I am and what I'm capable of doing. I showed it when I was at the University of Illinois. I knew I had the potential. I just had to go out there and prove it to everybody else, because honestly, I guess that's not how the draft works. They look at certain numbers when it comes to it, because I wasn't a guy who could put up fast numbers. Like my 40 time wasn't the best, you know. My bench was decent, you know, my broad jump and all that was decent, but I can play the game. And I knew I could play the game, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna have to show everybody I can play the game. There wasn't no hard feelings, you know, my name not getting called in the draft, no hard feelings. I just said, hey, whatever team, you know, is lucky to have me or will allow to have me, I'm gonna go ahead and show them what my talent is. The whole draft and everything was over with. I'm sitting there talking with my agent, and we were going over the teams that he was getting phone calls, you know, about myself from. He mentioned the Patriots, he mentioned Cleveland Browns, Steelers, Pittsburgh Steelers, and he mentioned the Saints. And honestly, the Saints wasn't on my chart. He brought to my attention, which I didn't really realize and I didn't know. He was like, didn't you have a coach from at University of Illinois by the name of Greg McMahon? I said, yeah, he was my special teams coach. I was like, why you ask? He was like, well, he's assistant coach at, you know, New Orleans Saints. And I was just like, yeah, New Orleans is pretty cool, but I'm like, man, but they're stacked. You know, they got Reggie, they got some guys. I'm like, I don't want to really go there because they already stacked. And he was like, to be honest with you, Pierre, just think about, you know, the inside. You already got a guy on the inside, Greg McMahon, somebody you already know. Go there, learn. I had to think about what he said. You know, I was a young, naive kid. I didn't really know, I didn't really think about that. And when he told me that, I was like, oh, he has a point. He has a point. I could go in there and learn from a man that knows me from college, that saw my potential, saw my talent, and I can learn from there. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna go to New Orleans, and I'm gonna show, you know, them what I can do, and also get as much information I can about the NFL, about the league, and how to stay in this league, and how to, you know, work with certain organizations, you know, if I don't make this team. But I told myself, I said, you know what, this is the first team that's giving me opportunity, I'm gonna go make it. You know, I told myself, yes, they drafted Reggie Bush, and yes, they just drafted a running back, Antonio Pittman, and they have Deuce, but that's not gonna stop me. I'm not gonna let no individual stop me. Only person that can stop me is myself, and I'm not gonna stop myself.